drop of a lot of things. And runner-up.
Well,
of
but I mean, yeah, BlizzCon,
Yeah.
which is technically WCS season. It was just WCS. It was the finals.
Yes. It was the big finals.
The Super Bowl of sorts. Man, it's really tough for me to. I'm such a Jaedong fan. Most people probably realize it now, but I really love Jaedong. I've been cheering for this guy since the Brood War days, and to see him go out in the round of 32 is something I never expected. And I hope that he bounces back. But come on,
let's just jump into game immediately, because the very first thing I see at the 0.04 second mark is one of the probes by our Taiwanese player Haas is leaving, and you do not scout at 7 supply, guys. That's a little too early.
Bomber has to scout this.
Either way, our final introduction of the day. Yowie Flash Wolves Haas is a Taiwanese proto spawning in the right top side of the map. He left a big impression on me after WCS Challenger, where he played fantastic PvP games. Today he left a different impression on me, but you know, it was fun regardless. He is going to try to cheese his way back into this series while doing something gnarly against Bomber. Bomber, who is of course our blue Terran, spawning in the left top side of Habitation Station, representing Red Bull.
Bomber has to scout this, right? I mean, this is the player that always checks his main base for proxies,
Does he?
right?
Does he? Does he now, Ben? I thought Bomber was the guy who doesn't see out of his main base up to the 7-minute mark.
Oh God, you're right. This is the guy that doesn't scout ever. Oh, God. First SCV moved, and I thought maybe, but so far, not looking.
I think it's going to be a no-gas fast expand for Bomber. Then it all depends on, like, when is he going to see this? How many? It seems like this is going to be a single. Is he also going to make a
gas?
Is he going to drop in a simulator and then a
SCV
cyber
doesn't scout. He goes to the natural. And he's gonna check his. He's checking for proxies, guys.
It's a. This is like when you play that game with your mom and she hides your presence. It's like cold, cold, colder, colder. Like, why colder?
You're really cold right now, Bomber. His gateway is definitely not in his base.
Really cold, and now Bomber's like, all right, I'm getting close to his base. Now it should be warmer, warmer, colder.
No,
freezing
you're
cold. Antarctic.
You're on the moon. Welcome to Pluto.
Light years away, different solar cells.
And now Bomber's like, wait a second. It's real. Oh, I get it now. Zealot is on the production tab, and soon to be.
Well, if that Zealot gets surrounded,
line. What am I talking about?
Yep. If that Zealot gets surrounded, it could still be very good. If the bunker goes up, this could still be very good. And this is actually great bunker positioning by Bomber, man. Bomber is definitely not down and out just yet. It's all going to go down to Marine Micro and no SCV Micro.
Yep, definitely a control game right now. Cybercore. Oh, then that's great control from Bomber, trying to get the full surround and succeeding. One Zealot goes down very, very quickly. Bomber's only lost 2 SCVs thus far.
The biggest problem is, though, Ben, like, he's eventually going to need more. Like, I think that Bomber is thinking that this might be just... No, actually, he has a scout. He knows there's a refinery, so he needs more than just this one bunker, and I hope he knows that.
He's building a second bunker in range of the pylon.
Yeah, and if that bunker goes up, everything could be different. This is the only pylon there is as well. That probe went down.
Yeah, this might be...
Aha, so you need to save that pylon at all costs. Oh, he's gonna... Okay, that's one way to save it. So Stalker is going to be out soon. How well can Haas micro his Stalkers?
But Bomber is controlling his Marines beautifully.
Yeah,
and one Zealot is just one shot from death. Here's the Stalker, but it's already cornered. The bunker is going to go up.
Wow, Bunker is so confident. He's going to salvage that bunker in his main. This Stalker is taking so much damage.
Can't get through. The Stalker goes down, and it looks like the upsets will stop at Jaedong. Bomber has defended the proxy and will manage not to necessarily end the game right now, but he is poised to make it on through to the round of 16.
Not the biggest commitment I've ever seen over here by Haas, man.
17 SCVs to 20 probes. It's still one base to one base.
No gas for Bomber either. Like, not a good scenario, of course, for our Protoss, as he's going to lose. Oh, he's going to try to sneak out another Zealot, man, and this one Zealot could do some serious work. If Bomber loses like 3-4 SCVs, I actually think Haas might be ahead.
All of the units are out on the map. That could be, you know, a little bit dicey. Photon Overcharge is pretty far away.
But even a Zealot, a Stalker, and a Mothership Core will kill 6 Marines any day of the week. This Zealot is about to spawn. This is going to be annoying for a Bomber, even though he might have 2 Marines to deal with it.
Yeah.
We'll see.
He's got exactly 2 Marines to deal with. 3 Marines even, as he left one behind. And good control from Bomber. Loses one SCV and only one
That's all.
SCV.
Well, very well done there. And these Marines are just going to get suicided on probes, and that's pretty well done as well. Bomber should just try to kill as many probes as possible, because he's not going to kill units, and he knows it.
Yep. Haas losing quite a bit of mining time here as he has to run away from all of these Marines.
Yeah, this is still good for Bomber.
That's going to be it. One more probe falls, and 20 workers to 20 workers. Bomber's command center's on the way, and what is Haas going to follow this up with? I mean, his options are basically... What are his options? He's not mining any gas. It looks like he wants to expand.
Huff?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He pretty much has to, because any sort of cheese is not going to work anymore. I wouldn't know what could possibly work from this position.
I mean, we've seen every cheese work in the situations that it shouldn't work today.
True, but
So
this would really push it.
he's going to take the gold base. That's an interesting decision.
And
And
that
one that
makes-
is fitting.
And that makes 7 gates. He's like, hey, this R2 dude, he was onto something.
Bomber loses to the same thing twice. Oh, how tilted do you think he would be?
Very.
So, man, Haas playing a different kind of StarCraft. This is not something that we have seen
This
since,
time, however, though, Bomber is going to scout it. What is that going to change? Not too sure, but it's going to help.
I mean, one thing that you were spot on about is his gas was very late, which means any kind of tech is much delayed. Tech Lab only now finishing.
A little bit unfortunate there for Bomber. He doesn't see anything. All he sees is a Stalker, so he might be worried about Blink Stalkers again. First Marauder gets fired up immediately. The Marauder will always be useful, so it's not necessarily the end of the world. He's still worried about Oracles as well, as he's keeping 6 Marines in his main. This game, however, though, when compared to the game on Habitation against Artyr, Bomber should have way more units than he had in that phase. And even though he had a lot of units on the game against Artyr as well, this time he should have like almost double the amount of units. And Haas shouldn't have as many units, as his economy was severely slowed down in the early stages of this game.
Haas transfers exactly 12 probes to the gold base. That is the magic number to most efficiently mine these 6 mineral patches, allowing him to have 2 probes on each. And he will, of course, continue that worker production so that he can eventually build assimilators there too. But for anybody wondering, that's why he chooses that number.
Yeah, I think
4
Bomber is
gates.
misreading this a little bit, because the attack is not going to happen anytime soon. The attack is going to happen 60, 70 seconds from now on, but that's of course something we know. That's something Bomber just can't possibly know.
This looks
And you'd rather
like
be safe than sorry.
Bomber versus Arthur. Just
Where's that scan?
watching it in the mirror. Everything's
What?
switched sides.
Oh, here it is. Yep, and this the exact.
Scans the natural.
Mm.
Sees it. He's like, damn it, again?
No.
Why does this keep happening?
I do not know. Today is definitely a little bit of a dirty day.
Seriously. Oh man.
4 gateways, 4 pylons. The income tab shows us right now that Haas is actually outmining Bomber. Bomber is still misreading this a little bit, Ben. I think he's still a little worried about Blink Stalkers. Now the factory goes down, which is
Faster than it was against Arthur.
yeah, on Yangtze.
Now I think Widow Mines are
Oh my god,
are reasonable in this situation.
This is just a mirror image. Like, it's once more, I scroll down and I was like, that's a lot of proteins.
Look at that force field.
Because I keep looking at these bunkers and these first units, and then suddenly you look over here and it's like, that's quite the army. And we are currently working off 7 gateways against 4 Rexes.
Now Bomber just
4
needs to start
bunkers.
some depots in front of each bunker to clog up things.
I think he's still misreading this, man. He's still thinking about Blink Stalkers. Like, no. Oh, he salvages. Maybe he's still thinking about Blink Stalkers, but he's not worried because he has Stim, and if you blink into this, you die. But what happens when... Ooh, okay, he knows.
Moment of truth.
It's kind of an awkward moment to run in with the Stalkers.
This is
at
much
first.
worse control from Haas than we had
Yeah.
from Arthur, as the sentries can't get in range to force field.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I can tell you how this one's going to end.
Guardian Shield will be popped. A couple of good forces will finally land, but that was a very awkward way for Haas to run up that ramp. There were a few Stalkers that died immediately, and then the force fields were not able to ever land. Army's fly surprisingly close though, but yeah, but there should be no way, right?
I think officially I've been wrong every time I've said that. So maybe now that it's you.
74 against 76 Army's fly, but Steam and Combat Shield are, well, Combat Shield is actually not ready just yet, but will be ready real soon, and +1 is halfway done. There is still 1 bunker. There are no medevacs, but they are in production, If Haas is ever going to win this game, Ben, it's going to happen right here and right now.
Now we're never, and it's
But
looking
with the
kind of like
factory,
he's choosing never, and the factory's going to land.
I actually think this was maybe his moment. Look how many low HP units there were.
I think so too.
But it would have been very hard because this bunker is going to mess with the AI a lot. And no, now you can't do it anymore with that factory.
Haas,
And
stop it!
Not the Stalker's first, Haas.
Haas needs to get a lesson from Arthur. He needs to review his... I just need the pylon a little closer, he says.
If I get that pylon even closer, I can warp in even more units.
Haas is now going to drop double forge because it's time, Kev.
Yes.
It's time to play the macro game.
Time to transition. He's up 2 workers. But he has no Twilight console.
Oh, Bomber's dropping.
Yeah. Yeah, he has no blink. Bomber can just run. Oh. And soon Bomber can keep dropping for the next 84 minutes.
Yeah, this is sort of the point where Terran just wins.
Yeah.
Now his units are still pretty low. He probably wants to get a few more medevacs out, get everything healed up.
Yeah, exactly.
But
there's no need to like overrush it because Bomber probably has a pretty good idea that this was a massive commitment for Haas. The only thing as Terran, what you're afraid of is that the time is ticking and there might be Storm soon, and obviously you prefer to fight before Storm than after. But Storm is
Bomber
so
loads up
far
4 medevacs. If Haas goes right now.
Oh, this could actually... Yeah, that's... I've had crazy games like this where I was like super down for a long time, and then when the Terran decides to drop me, I decide to YOLO it, and I somehow win the most ridiculous game of all time. I still don't think it's gonna work. Like, this drop is gonna kill everything so incredibly quickly over here. Like, you've never seen a Protoss base disappear like this. Haas is gonna immediately run to the natural Bomber, but you know, Bomber should be able to have way more endurance in the army.
The best part is the Bomber's got a full wall, so there's no just walking in and winning the game. And of course, these units are all going to be very derpy on the ramp. Here's the force fields. No depots are even going to die. Haas is going to tap out, and Bomber will succeed. So Jaedong falls out, but Bomber does go on, but surprisingly enough, in 2nd place. That's right, Arthur took 1st place in the group. Bomber takes 2nd. Jaedong and Haas are on the bottom half of it.
This was quite a day of WCS America action, Ben, but I am happy to see that Bomber is going to make the trip here back to California. I know that he has a lot of fans in America and he deserves it. He's an exciting Terran player to watch, and I also think this is a day that Bomber won't forget soon. They definitely put him to the test. For a certain moment, Bomber thought, to hell with it, I'm gone, but he decided to stick around, and I'm happy that Bomber made it into the playoffs, man. Excellent Terran, one of the very best in the world. And, you know, in the start of the day, I described him as the 5th biggest favorite to perhaps take this tournament. Well, one of those 4 favorites is down, and he actually took out that favorite as well.
So now he just moved up a tier.
Yeah, at least semifinals for Bomber in the Roddy prediction.
That would be exciting. Bomber's a great player, somebody that we all love to cheer for. So congratulations to him for making it through. Hats off to you, Haas, for being so damn crazy.
And providing us with lots of entertainment.
If Bomber plays for Red Bull, then Haas would play for that energy drink that's like, you know, what's it called? 2 Loco or 4 Loco? You have to know what I'm talking about.
No.
It's like been banned from stores for having too much crazy crap in it. Yeah.
Okay. I've heard